Look at this. Look, Barry, very quickly. There's a squirrel here. Can you see going on a bicycle? He's going on a bicycle ride.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Happy and good.
I feel good.
Stephen,
Isn't that a great name? Helen Mook Cookery Book. Oh, we've got down to Muscle Beach. Here we are at Muscle Beach.
I have
This
to
is
say-
eye candy for you.
No, well, possibly.
Why did you want to have your own radio station?
Well,
Can I spill the beans?
really?
Yeah.
You sure about this?
Well, you know.
If you're happy, then I'm happy. If you're not happy, I'm still happy. Everything's so sweet when life's a beach. Yeah, if you're happy, then I'm happy. If you're not happy, well, I'm still happy. And every day's complete when life's a beach. Your life's a beach.
Life's a beach.
Oh, life's a beach.
Hey, welcome to another of BAZZA's Beach Walks. Now with me today is a very good friend of mine who is not only an entrepreneur, and she's hiding behind this there she is. She's not only an entrepreneur, but a very adventurous lady. It's Dawn Parry from New Dawn.fm.
Hello. Hi. Barry, lovely
Join
to
me
see
on a
you.
beach walk, all right? You know, now you've come to, at the moment you're you're in Japan, right? Because
Well, at this very moment, actually, no, I'm on Pattaya on a beach here.
yeah, but you're on holiday
But
now, aren't you?
I'm on holiday.
Why did you choose Pattaya to come to?
Because I like Pattaya actually. I like Thailand very much, and I grew up in Southeast Asia. And so this is somewhere that feels very much like.
Okay, where did you actually grow up?
I grew up in Singapore.
Right, and that must have been an amazing place, really, to start your life.
Oh, very much so. Look at this. Look, Barry, very quickly. There's a squirrel here. Can you see going on a bicycle? He's going on a bicycle ride. And there's another one over there.
Yeah, they do squirrel bikes. I do believe.
There are.
Look at the squirrels everywhere.
I know, beautiful. Anyway,
Yeah.
So it's growing up in Singapore. I mean, Singapore is very, very different to Thailand, but at the same time,
Still Southeast Asia.
well, it is, and the temperatures are very similar. And humidity, very humid, very warm, and of course we get monsoon seasons and things. But the lovely thing about having grown up in Singapore is that at the time that I did grow up there, which is 60s, 70s, right the way through early 80s, is that it is incredibly it was incredibly kind of wild around the edges. You could go to Collier's Quay, you could take a sampan, go to the islands, any of the islands. You can't do any of that now. It's become very, very built up.
Right.
So, but you can still do all of those things here. So you have that kind of an anarchic, liberated feeling here that you no longer have in Singapore, unfortunately. But it's still one of the most fabulous places in
Do you
Southeast
think
Asia.
Thailand's a real feel-good place?
I feel fabulous. Yes, of course it's.
How good do you feel?
I feel
On a scale of 1 to 10.
happy and good.
I feel good.
Yes. No, it's a beautiful place here, and I like it. I enjoy it. I love the fact that there are so many different foods that you can get here. People are very friendly. Things are not at all expensive. But then, so many people told me, oh, when you go to Japan, you'll realise it's incredibly expensive. Barry, I have to tell you, in the UK, people are very, very ripped off because everything is outrageously expensive by comparison to anywhere else in the world almost, apart from some of the Nordic countries where people earn far more than they do in the UK.
Yeah. Now, listen, the thing is, you have had an amazing life, haven't you, as an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
But I always think that entrepreneur, a better word for it is just adventurous.
Well, I am adventurous. I don't have... Well, I have a few things that make me a classic entrepreneur. One of them is I do lack patience, especially patience with people, unfortunately. Yeah. But there are many people that get a great deal of my patience if they're, when they kind of show they're worth it. I am fearless when I get a really good idea.
Now that's a good word, isn't it? Fearless. You do, that's one thing that a lot of people stops them from actually doing, things that they could actually make a big thing out of.
Well, when I was, this is going back, I think it was the early 90s, I wrote a song, or mid-90s, I wrote a song called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And it is very evocative of my entire life and my approach to life, because we should feel the fear and do things a little bit like we should feel love and take a risk and follow that, fall in love and suffer the heartbreak, take the risk of all of those things rather than fear the worst.
Right.
Because in business, it can be really scary, especially when you're doing certain things. So you have a great idea, you know how you can make it work, but then there are always elements that make you think, oh my, this is so far out of my comfort zone. And as you know, every single day I go live on air, on radio, live on radio shows and on newdawn.fm. And every single time I do that, I take risks because I speak to very famous.
And do you like the adrenaline rush of being live and that anything can go wrong, which it very often does? Well, and then you've got to feel calm, haven't you, while you sort it out?
Well, it's difficult to feel calm while sorting it out, but what I try to do always is at the very least to appear calm. Well, that's that. Oh, yeah. That's a husky. To appear calm and to sound calm while all hell's being let loose on air. But the thing is that, as you know, the show that I do every Friday, Jukebox Judgment, which is, we've got some of the world's top record producers on the show, and sometimes, he's on there as well. Well, we have the.
It's me and some top record producers.
No,
yeah.
You're terrific as well, as we all know. But the thing is that it's one of those. That was nice. It's one of those shows, though, where when you go live, everything has to work perfectly. And the moment something goes slightly wrong, it puts the fear of God into me, because I know we have so many listeners tuned in. And we also get people viewing it, of course, because it's filmed as well. Now, when that happens, I just scrabble around like crazy. Barry, you wanted to go over to the Rabbit Resort.
Well, we're going to stop off just for a second and have a coffee at the Rabbit Resort, and we'll be back in a jiffy.
I think it's a great idea. Oh, wow. And I've got this fabulous drink.
And we're back. Oh, hang on. I'm on the wrong side. Make sure you're on the right side. There we go. Right.
Well,
Okay.
Doesn't really matter which.
Right. Where were we?
The sun is now a little bit calmer, so it doesn't really matter so much.
The sun is beautiful. It's going to be heading for a good sunset. See, have a look at that. Look, there you go. Look at that through the trees. Very nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely glorious.
Right. Back to you. Now, listen. Talking about the sun and solar power. Am I right in thinking that you invented something?
Yes, but I'm not used to talking about myself. I'm used to interviewing other people. So this is a little bit bizarre for me.
Get used to it.
Okay, well, I invented solar-powered backpacks back in about, I think it was 2003.
What made you think about that?
Well,
There must have been an incident that you thought, what we need? We need solar-powered backpacks.
Well, there was an incident. In fact, so my eldest son, he was at university at the time. Actually, he wasn't at university. He was doing a gap year, and he was about to go to university. But this is my son Joshua, my eldest son. So Joshua had a gap year that he decided he was going to go and tour the world. And in fact, he went to see the Melbourne Grand Prix and all this sort of stuff. He had a wonderful time. But when he got to Africa, South Africa, in fact, he ended up being shot at. And it was really quite drastic. So he didn't go with a group of people. He just went with his best friend, Sashka.
Yeah.
And so Joshua and Sashka, they'd been at public school together and all that sort of stuff. So they go off travelling around the world before they go to university. They'd got very good A levels, great university places. Anyway, so they were at Diwali Beach and got shot at, and it was really quite terrifying. They were trying to, the people who shot them were trying to get the passports from them. Sashka said, hand over everything we've got. Joshua, this isn't worth it. Joshua basically said, absolutely no way. And so the guys shot at their feet. And they wanted to come home immediately on a flight and all this. And funnily enough, at that very moment, when I got the call, because they weren't able to call me because their mobile phones had gone flat.
Right.
This is what made me come up with the idea. But eventually they got to a concierge at a hotel, called me. And at that very time of day that they were calling me, bizarrely, I was in the Robin Cousins skating rink on the Downs in Clifton.
Who knew there was a Robin Cousins skating rink?
Well, there wasn't. Yeah, but it was actually a travelling skating show that Robin Cousins was in.
Oh, okay.
And I was in the audience there, and it sort of struck me, you know, that how bizarre it is that people, for a little bit of money, I think it was for a few dollars that they had, and their passports, would kill. And that kids, young students travelling around the world, were really at the mercy of people around the world when they go for gap years and things, because they can't just go and charge up their little PDAs, whether it's mobile phones or cameras or whatever, while on the move. So that made me come up with the idea of putting together solar-powered panels along with backpacks so that kids could stay powered up on the move, and it keeps them safe. So
and did this come to fruition? Was it marketed?
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. So they're called Soltaic. I still have several of them. Several, I don't know, boxes.
Yeah.
So I manufactured them for a few years, sold them. The business was going brilliantly. Still would be if I maintained the level of interest. But as you know, that's the thing with entrepreneurs. Once you get something going and have it up and running, you want to move on to the next thing.
You were very entrepreneurial, if only I could say it, at a very early age, weren't you? With some sandwiches?
Oh, yes. Yeah, even sandwiches. Actually, everything.
What happened there then?
Well, I happen to love good flavours. I love good food, great food. And I learned very early on that there are two things, you know, Barry, that really can make you a lot of money.
Right.
One is money, learning how to play with money and what to do with it. It's that beautiful bird song. And the other is food. So two things, money and food. So the food side of it, as long as you get that right, again, it makes you money. So I had seen a property that I wanted. Oh, by the way, I worked in finance and food. There we go. I worked in finance at the time as well. And so I decided that it was time that I got myself a place that I really liked. Since I was 19, I always had a property of my own. But in this instance, I'd come across a client of mine who had just been made bankrupt, and he wanted to go back to Australia. So I made him an offer he couldn't refuse, really. I offered him half the market price of his property, which was still quite a lot of money. And then I needed to get the deposit together very, very quickly. Now, bear in mind, I already had another place that I was paying neutral. So in order to get the money together, I thought the best way is to do it getting cash, really, by setting up a sandwich round. And I had seen in a newspaper, this is what gave me the idea, I'd seen somebody advertise in a newspaper. It was in the Bristol Evening Post.
Yeah.
And it said, sandwich round for sale. It gave,
so it already existed.
Exactly. It gave the where the sandwich round was for sale.
First time I've ever heard this, that you buy a sandwich round.
Well, people do. But you've got to remember that what are you buying when you buy them? All you're buying is goodwill.
You had some experience at making sandwiches then.
Well, everybody knows how to make a sandwich, but I have the experience of really great food. and flavours. And no, I love to cook, seriously, ever since I was a kid.
Yeah, but there's sandwiches and sandwiches, aren't there?
Mine were earth-shatteringly
Were yours
fabulous.
luxury ones?
Oh, completely. And I was.
Did you have luxury ingredients?
I was the first person ever to make Chinese flavoured sandwiches. So you would have 5 spice and chicken all baked together with shredded crisp lettuces.
What's the most unusual sandwich you did?
Well, probably that actually. I'd like to just go back though to what I was saying with regard to how I got the money together and putting together the sandwich round. Because the funniest bit was seeing this sandwich round for sale, and it gave the details of where it was. Now, Barry,
Yes.
it's like me saying to you, when all you're buying is the goodwill and the customers, it's like me saying, Barry, you see that bird flying over there?
Yeah.
Give me £1,000 and it's yours. Because that is exactly what buying a sandwich around.
Well, it'd be worth it just to see you trying to catch it.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that all I did was, as soon as I saw that up for sale, the next day, I put on a really cute little, like a French maid's outfit almost. And I made lots of sandwiches.
Yeah.
And I wrapped them
Well, it's all
up.
in the presentation, isn't it?
All of it. But what I did was, though, I gave away free just a half sandwich to every single shop, bank, everything, all the way down White Lane, right the way down to what's called the Triangle.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds.
You lured them in.
I just gave them half a free sandwich each. And I asked them to please support my new business and that I would be back tomorrow with sandwiches. Well, oh my God. I also did this on the QT because I was actually trying to run away from my then husband. So it was all a little
You had an
bit,
ulterior motive.
well, you know, you have to do things, don't you? Especially if you've got a child and stuff. There are things you just have to do. Anyway, but I managed to get, so what I needed was a minimum amount of money to put down. I needed £8,000 to put down as my deposit for the mortgage. So I made that very, very quickly, needless to say, all in cash, which I
And how big did the sandwich round get? Was it really big?
It was enormous. I actually did sell it in the end myself, but for much more money than the person trying to sell it to me in the first instance. Yeah.
Oh, we've got down to Muscle Beach. Here we are at Muscle Beach. All the guys working out.
This, I have
This
to
is eye
say,
candy for you.
no, well, possibly. But I have to say, this isn't quite the Muscle Beach that I am used to in LA.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, LA's got its Muscle Beach, and Dongtan Beach has its Muscle Beach.
Okay.
You know, and you know, I think it kind of fits into the area. And there's all that volleyball going on over there. You know,
Yeah. That's
lots of fitness around
So
here.
should we
So
head
we're going to head back, and we're going to walk down the beach road here. I absolutely love this area. I adore this area because you've got the sunset happening over there. You've got the sun going down. We've got all of this wonderful volleyball going on, and lots of fit people. You know, and as we get older, we've got to stay fit. This is why I love doing these beach walks.
Yes. You see, you keep making me think of the song, though. So Steve Lillywhite and I started doing jukebox judgment. I came up with an idea over 3 years ago now, and I spoke to Steve and I said, come on, join me with this. What do you think? And he said, yes, great idea. So we started doing jukebox judgment. I also had, in fact, Stuart Epps was on it with me first as well. And we used to do it in a different way. We used to film them, but they were done in quite a different way. Whereas I've now learned to play with all the technology since, and now can include many screens and all of you all at once.
Yeah.
Oops.
It's all right, doggy. You stay where you are, all right? You know, don't you move. We'll walk around you. It's fabulous. And what I love about Jukebox Judgment, I mean, I came into it after you started it all, I think, but we've become a bit of a family.
Oh, very much.
And we've actually tried to explain what we thought about what it is about every Friday we look forward to. And the great thing is that producers don't really meet other producers. You know, we're all in different studios producing different artists over the years, and we don't get to meet others.
No.
And so on Jukebox Judgment, you've done a great thing by bringing us all together.
Oh, I know. Thank you.
And you know,
Well, it's a
people
fun
like
thing.
Steve Lillywhite, who's U2's producer, and Steve James, who's produced all the Ruttles music.
Well, many other.
Phil Brown, who's a legend.
Yeah.
I mean, these are big names, aren't they?
They're all legends, yes, but they're all personal friends of mine, and I'm very proud to be able to call them personal friends as well.
Yeah.
And there are many more. Luke Morley, who has certainly worked with some massive names.
Wonderful
as well.
remixer and producer. And producer, yeah.
Where are you going to go down the side?
Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm in control of myself for a change. So it's become a total success, hasn't it? And the great thing is that even though we're pulling apart people's material, and we always praise when praise is due, but sometimes we have to make comments and show them how maybe it should be done better.
Well,
But people love it. They accept it, don't they?
Well, possibly. The thing is to always remember, as you know anyway, you're extraordinarily good at, dealing with criticism and then coming back to something slightly different. The thing is that with all music, it is subjective. It is art.
Yes.
And what one person loves, another person may hate, and so on. So that's not, that's just how it is.
But we love it, you see, like when I love something and Steve Lillywhite doesn't, or vice versa.
Yeah.
We look forward to that because it gives different opinions and different views.
What I was going to say was something a little bit different there, actually. I was just going to say that sometimes on first listen to a track, we may feel quite strongly that we don't like certain elements of it, or that it doesn't blow our socks off. And then we'll hear it a few times more.
Yeah, it's a grower.
And it comes back and really hits us that, hang on a minute, there are lots of different facets to this particular piece of music or particular track or whatever.
Yeah.
And it becomes much, much more interesting and more entertaining.
Actually, a piece of music has a lot of validity when it does that, and you can hear new things in it every time you hear it.
Yeah. And there are so many artists, though, that whose music comes to us and just initially didn't blow our socks off, but then afterwards we think, hang on, it's so catchy, and now we know all the words and things like that, which is what's also so great about the revival chart, for example.
Now, you're a very gregarious person.
Yeah.
You know me with big words. I have to look them up normally when you're using big words, but I know the word
quite cute.
gregarious. But you are a gregarious person, and so people are attracted to you, aren't they? Like for instance, one of your friends, Boy George.
Yes, that's right, yeah. He's a good friend, and
he's a big supporter.
he is a very big supporter of newdawn.fm, and he's a big supporter of everything that I do to do with the world of music and everything creative and artistic, really. And another person I'm very proud to be able to call, a friend of mine. Please watch where you go there. I'm so worried he's going to fall down these ditches here. Anyway, so one of the things with Jukebox Judgment as well is that sometimes I can't help myself. I can be a bit harsh with all of you lot as well,
Well, that's why we call you Miss Whiplash.
Well, you call me Miss Whiplash. The others don't. That's just you. You've cornered that name.
Just this image I've got in my head, probably.
Well, I did say to you earlier that I do lack patience. I'm aware of that. But at the same time, when I'm trying to corral what feels like a herd of cats, which is all of you lot.
Well, we are. We're like a bunch of kids when we get on there, together.
Well, the thing is that none of you are used to being front of house, because your role usually is to produce other people. You're slightly different because you're a performing producer, but the majority, it's a bit different. So everybody kind of becomes very much more animated.
Yeah.
The other thing is that you're also thrilled to see each other, and hopefully me too, that we put together this thing and it creates a lot of laughter and a lot of fun for a huge number of listeners around the world. And that's another thing, it's so international.
And the other thing is, between us all, including yourself, there's this underlying respect.
Oh, absolutely. Always. We all respect each other's abilities, each other's creativity.
Which makes it easy for us to make fun of each other, because we know that the respect is there anyway.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
Hey.
I was going to say as well, it also takes a little bit of being careful sometimes in the way that I say things or whatever. And I think my years in politics have helped.
Now you were a politician for a few years, right?
Yeah, I was. And did lots of television,
What got you into that?
radio in...
What made you feel like I have to be a politician? I need to make a difference.
Well, I've always been motivated. I know you're not into politics at all, but I've always been motivated.
Now, I'm interested in what makes people tick, why they would want to become a politician.
Well, because you can see injustices, you can see unfairness, you can see just so many holes in the system when you are living, a normal everyday life. The problem is, though, that the people in Westminster are not living a normal everyday life, and they don't make many. They try to make a difference. I think when they first go into politics, they want to make a difference very much so. But I think the reality is that this is where I'm fortunate that I'm not a politician now, because I can say this. I think that they are so often tempted into just saying words, mouthing words that keep the peace.
Lip service.
Well, a bit of that, yeah, and keeping themselves in a role or keeping themselves elected, but not actually achieving a great deal.
So you felt a calling, right, to do something different. What changes did you make? Did you do anything?
Yes, I did.
Right.
Yes. So one of the biggest things that I ever did as an elected member of North Somerset Council, I was in charge of 44,000 children under the Children and Young People Services.
In North Somerset.
North Somerset, yes. It's a vast area. It all used to be Avon, it then changed into North Somerset. Anyway, when children went to go and pay for school meals, you could always tell which children received free school meals and which children had to pay for their school meals. And I felt that was terrible, because I was very fortunate. I was able to put my children through private schools and things like that. So I felt as though, poor children, if their parents are out of work or are claiming the dole or whatever they do, you can identify those poor kids because they would be given a blue chit to go and get a free meal. So all the other children would be able to see visibly, and those kids, they could get picked on, maybe they weren't.
You can understand that.
So what I changed was I made every single school meal in North Somerset have to be paid for electronically at source, so that when every single child went to get their meal, you could never discern whether a child was poor or whether they came from a family that didn't eat.
Yeah, because kids can be cruel, can't they?
Very cruel.
Yeah.
Very. And I think there are so many that are neglected in different ways. They might arrive at school with clean clothes each week and things, but they could also be incredibly neglected. You get neglected children and so on from incredibly wealthy families too.
Yeah.
As we've discovered in a lot of boarding schools. The kids get dumped off. That's it, the parents are off. Woohoo! Having a party.
Your views on the world, I mean, what do you hope to gain from it? That's the thing. There must be an end game.
Well, awareness. Sorry, Barry's being distracted.
Yeah, well, the party is a little party over here. Look, some Thai people having a sunset party. Look, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it. I love seeing
Me
that.
too. That one was
I
no
love seeing
lady,
people
though.
enjoy themselves.
Me too. That one
Now,
was no lady though.
Let me just get to the crux of your radio station. Why did you want to have your own radio station?
Well,
Can I spill the beans?
really?
Yeah.
You sure about this?
Well, there's got to be a motivation.
Oh no, I
for
have
doing
loads of motivation. There are lots of motivating
Right.
factors. Firstly, and the biggest motivator has got to be that the BBC, and yes, I have to blame them, they don't play the music that we all want to hear.
You champion new music, don't you?
I really do. And I champion melodic new music and new music from new artists, but I also champion new music from artists who have been releasing music for 20 years or more.
And that goes, and they qualify for the revival chart.
That's right. The revival chart is a chart that is out every Friday on newdawn.fm. And it's a 5 p.m. UK time, but it also gets repeated during the weekend. And the beauty of it is that you're going to hear from artists that you thought had gone, but they haven't. When you've got the likes of who can we think of? Well, you for a start. When you've got the likes also of U2, Bono coming up with a new track, or
I didn't know where I'd gone.
or Boy George, for example. He's got so many. He's working with so many.
Well, the greatest one was Luke Mornay and Kevin Godley from 10cc.
Yes, they wrote
I haven't
that.
heard from Kevin Godley for years.
Well, they wrote that.
What a great record that was.
They wrote that song together,
Yeah.
and it is an absolutely superb piece of work. Expecting a Message is what it's called. And yes, that's Luke Mornay and Kevin Godley. But wow, it's just...
So artists like that, you're giving them a platform. You're giving new artists a platform with new music, but plus championing the great artists that have been, and maybe just have gone away for a while, and they've got a platform to bring out their new music.
But Barry, here's the thing: they actually don't go away, not even for a little while. It's simply that they don't get the airplay.
Oh right. There's not the exposure that.
No, there isn't. And do you know something else? Some people in the past, not now, but in the past, people have said to me, "Oh, but it's only internet radio, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Only internet
worldwide."
Radio. Well, that's the beauty of it. That's just what I was going to say. So, internet radio, in fact, allows you to put film footage up as well. What FM station can do that? They can't. And what DAB can do any of that? They can't. DAB never really got off the ground anyway. And the others, of course, are very expensive to license, but they're just a rip-off.
You have listeners from America.
I do, yeah.
South Africa.
Yes, we do.
Greece.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And of course, Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia, of course, Japan. It really is incredibly international.
Yeah.
We have so many artists all over the place. And the Philippines. Oh gosh, some fantastic singers in the Philippines as well.
Yeah.
Most though.
And we went out and did a jukebox judgment in Singapore, didn't we? There was a lot of great artists.
We did
in there.
a live jukebox judgment from Singapore, but we also we went to the festival, Accent
Festival, Bali.
in Bali, which was superb as well. It was very good.
And it's nice to see young people putting together bands and playing live, playing real music.
It is. But you know what, Barry? Do you know what makes me feel ever so proud?
Go on.
Is that within such a short period of time, because, I had some issues with a terrible business partner.
Right.
Just over a year and a half ago.
On another radio station.
Which I also owned.
Okay, yes.
But it caused so many major issues that literally overnight, I came up with creating newdawn.fm and made it go live the following Monday. And what I'm so proud of is in less, maybe 14 months now, something like that.
Yeah.
With Luke and with all the rest of us that are working together, and you've got a show on my station as well. Fridays 4 p.m. Yes, but we've created something so special and so magical, and it really is revered.
I think what happens is, and we'll turn around, we'll just finish off by walking just back down to your resort.
Yes.
I think what it is that listeners they feel part of the station. And you're very good at that. You make them feel part, don't you?
Thank you.
You make them feel like they're they're as big a part of the station as the presenters.
Absolutely. Well, they are, because without them, we're nothing.
But you get loyalty that way, don't you?
Yes. But without any, if we don't have an audience, we are nothing, Barry.
Yeah.
Any of us, we
True.
need that. That's along with the new music, that is also our blood, our lifeline. So, and we're very fortunate because we have a lot of listeners, and there's huge loyalty. And I love the fact that we also have the artists
listening in.
Yeah, they listen in and they comment.
Because they want to hear their music on the radio.
Well, I know that, but
It is magical when you hear your own music on the radio. It is magical. You're going to go back to Japan now,
Yes.
right, after you've finished your vacation here.
My vacation.
And you're going to go back to northern Japan and you've got to spend the winter in a ski resort.
I'll be skiing. I'll be having a ball.
Well, that sounds magical as well. But the great thing is that you can still do the station, run the programs, and do everything because of the internet.
Yes.
And you can go anywhere and do it.
Yes, I mean, I've brought a skeleton kit with me, as you know, because you've been on the shows with me.
Yes.
And as you know, it's a very stripped down version, but it works a treat when it works properly.
We're going to go over here and we're going to finish off with the sunset. There you go.
Yes.
Look at that. Look at that lovely sunset behind us, you know?
Gorgeous.
It's magical. I love this beach. This is Dongtan Beach here in Pattaya.
I'm staying just over there.
There you go. She's staying at that resort over there,
It's beautiful.
which you really like, don't you? Because
I love it.
It's a little bit traditional, old style Thai.
It's also very, it's very White Lotus, the vibe. If any of you have watched White Lotus, you'll love this. It's really fabulous in there.
Yeah.
And it's all low rise, which I love.
It's a fabulous area here, and thank you for coming.
You're welcome, Barry.
Everybody loves Dawn. She's a great character,
Thank
and
you.
she deserves all the success that she can get.
Bless you. Thank you, Barry. That's so kind.
There we go.
Now, lots of love, everyone.
Did you enjoy that little
Bye.
beach walk?
I did.
Yeah, there you go.
Beach
A
walk.
beach walk with a chat, and
I
it's
was going to
fantastic.
say, we watched, we got a song called Beach Walk by Helen McCookery Book and Steve.
Now, isn't that a great name? Helen McCookery Book.
Well, she was in the band The Chefs, and they've also been in my chart. But Helen McCookery Book has also been in my chart with Beach Walk. We're going for a beach walk. And it's a beautiful song.
Fabulous. There's going to be more beach walks. Tune in and check out who I'm going to be chatting with next and walking with.